More from Justin Rose and Valderrama very shortly. But first, let's get live to Stevenage, where they are parading possibly their best managerial signing of all time. The former England caretaker coach, more recently former Crystal Palace manager, Peter Taylor.
Are we ready to go?
Yeah, go.
We're waiting for you, are we? Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Stevenage Borough Football Club. We're obviously here today to announce the appointment of Peter Taylor as our new manager. Welcome him to Broadhall Way. He's bringing Steve Butler with him as his coach, first team coach. And basically, as far as we're concerned, we feel we've made a championship appointment to a conference level club. Obviously with the intention of taking that conference level club probably into the championship. We're delighted with the situation. We're just thankful that we've been able to make this come about, and basically anyone who wants to ask any questions, please do so.
Peter, you're live on Sky Sports News. What persuaded you to drop down to a non-league club?
Well, I was very disappointed what happened at Palace, as you can appreciate. I was desperate to go and do well there, but it didn't work out. You know, a year and a half and the results weren't good enough, and I was sacked, basically. And I wanted to work, and I've been 3 weeks out of work, and I want to work. I'm still fit enough to go out there training every day. I looked at different options that could be available to me, but I was very excited about Stevenage, and I would love to do another Hull City here. I think when I took over at Hull, they were 18th in the lowest division in the Football League. Then all of a sudden, they're now in the Championship, and I look at Stevenage's position at the minute. They're fourth in the conference, and for me, there's not a lot of difference to where Hull was, and so it's a great challenge, and it's something that I'm looking forward to, and I'm delighted to be back in work.
How did the initial contact come about? Do you go back a long way with Bob? I
go back when Bob used to look a young man, and no, I think that it first of all started with I think Stevenage were worried that we were going to lose Mark Stimpson, because Mark done a very good job here, and they were worried about that, and they've really just asked me whether I'd come in to maybe look after it for a very short period. And so that's how it all started, and as I say, I'm delighted with the outcome, and I'm really looking forward to the challenge.
The chairman said it wasn't easy persuading you that this is a great career move to come here, so did you have to be persuaded quite a bit?
Well, I think you can get too clever at this game, and I think that maybe you think that you're just a Championship manager or a Football League manager or whatever. For me, it's important that where I go, I think that it's important that I'm going to run the team exactly how I want to run it, and it doesn't matter what level. I think that if the club's ambitious, and I've met the chairman once here, and he's very ambitious, and I've promised him that I'm still as hungry as ever to try and get back into the league, and hopefully we do it here very quickly.
What can you say to those fans that may think, though, that you would be using this as a stepping stone till another better, bigger job came up?
Well, if it means that better and bigger jobs come up, it means that Stevenage are going to be very successful, because I'm going to sign a 1.5-year contract here, delighted to do so, very comfortable with the people that I'm working for, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to make it a very successful club, and hopefully build a club that's going to get into the Football League and do very well.
Chief Executive Bob Macon, how surprised were you when Peter agreed to come here, and how much persuading did he take?
Well, I've got a long relationship with Peter, and I know the kind of guy he is, and we started off, as I say, on a tentative basis just for a while, because I know he doesn't like garden leave. So he's the sort of guy, he's made the decision. We've tried to do everything to make it easy for him. He's come and he's looked at the vehicle, and it's true what he said about the whole situation. He feels that this town has got the potential to go on and not just survive in Football League, but perhaps go through Division 2, and we'll see what happens from there.
And financially, maybe some fans will wonder how a club like Stevenage non-league can afford to have a top-class coach like Peter. Can you explain that?
We've got a tremendous backing on our board. The two gentlemen you see on my right there, who are Stevenage people through and through, and they make it their business to make sure that we can do this sort of business.
And sum up how big a day it is for the club and the town itself.
This is a massive day for this club. I don't think there's anybody in this room who thought that this could possibly happen in anybody's wildest dreams. And over the last couple of weeks or so, since the resignation of Mark Stimson, a lot of hard work has gone into actually getting this situation here today. Silence was good.
Silence.
So there we go, Peter Taylor, the new Stevenage Borough manager. It's an interesting change, isn't it, for him? Just a few weeks ago was working in the Championship with Crystal Palace, and his CV is pretty impressive. He's had promotions with Hull, he's worked as England under-21 coach for a long time, and also that time as well in the England dugout.
Yeah, when you think back to it, 7 years ago he was in that England dugout. Today, though, the manager of Stevenage, as you saw there, Gail Davis, looks back at the remarkable change of fortunes in his career.
He was the man responsible for handing David Beckham the England captaincy during his time as caretaker manager of the national side. But for his next job in management, Peter Taylor will take charge of conference side Stevenage. Taylor has experience of managing non-league football. He began his career at Dartford, then headed to Southend before a spell at Dover Athletic. In 1996, then England manager Glenn Hoddle asked Taylor to take charge of the England under-21 side in what proved to be a hugely successful three-year tenure. Of his 23 games in charge, he recorded 14 victories, 6 draws and 3 defeats, but he was replaced by Howard Wilkinson in 1999. Taylor returned to the England setup, taking caretaker charge of the senior team in a match against Italy, fielding an experimental young side captained by Beckham. Taylor's next managerial role took him to Gillingham, who were promoted after a playoff final. He went on to take charge of then Premiership side Leicester, before managing Brighton to promotion and then steering Hull into the Championship, where Taylor combined his role with a second stint with the under-21 side. Championship promotion contenders Crystal Palace came calling in June 2006, and Taylor left Hull to head to Selhurst Park. 16 months later, he was sacked. Now Taylor will make a conference return with Stevenage. Gail Davis, Sky Sports.
Interesting.